So what should people know about what's on the Hill right now? And are you for or against what's going on?
Me personally, okay, this is not an industry statement. I think that if you look at the nature of and descheduling, I don't think that the cannabis industry understands some of the implications of it. Rescheduling to level 3 now makes it a pharmaceutical-like product. And as a part of that, you then have a lot of big pharma who may want to participate in this. They're going to come in as well. Well, there's competition to the local dispensaries. I'm sure they're going to have an easier time of potentially selling it and or some of the regulations even at a state level, but it's still going to cause for additional competition. If you have descheduling, you've got some of the major tobacco brands out there that would love to plant a couple million acres worth of medium grade weed and then come out with the Budweiser of weed packaged and ready to go. So the competition that goes there, if you're a boutique product and you have a quality product and your client base will survive the nature of a Budweiser like brand, then you don't care about descheduling. But I think some of the implications of descheduling, not to mention the fact that the states that are making revenue off of the tax bases that they have right now, because it's federally illegal, but it's state legal and the states charge taxes to the dispensaries. I think there might be a little bit of a battle between the states and the feds saying, look, we don't necessarily want this because we're going to lose a whole rev stream. And there's a lot of taxes. You look at a couple of the states where they're potentially destination type weed stops, and everybody knows those states. But if you look at those destinations, they make a lot of taxable money off of those dispensaries. It's a huge implication. 280E, which is a taxing element, which you talk to a tax attorney about this, talk to a tax accountant about this. Having relief on that would be huge for dispensaries. Doesn't require, I don't think, the legalization at a federal level, but it does require that the taxing law that's there be eased. They can't, their cost of goods sold, they can't take any taxable write-offs on a lot of that stuff. It's choking them. They're basically the death by 1,000 cuts kind of thing. Everything from how they process their transactions to where they can do business to tracking everything. You got to track everything, including cutoffs and waste and stuff like that, because everybody is making THC infused products from, CO2 extraction and a bunch of things of what they're doing, even with cast offs. You have to track all of that. Well, that's a lot of work and taxable issues and employee issues. And you just going up and down the street with all of the things that are death by 1,000 knives. The cannabis industry is struggling as an industry because everybody's making it really, really hard for them. Not that it shouldn't be appropriately handled. It's like a liquor store. It should be appropriately taxed and or managed. But some of the rules that are in place are kind of usurious, if you will, to go back to our old phrase.
So rescheduling brings in the pharmaceutical companies, rescheduling to level 3, descheduling brings in the tobacco companies.
Everybody. It brings in everybody. And as an industry, I think while everybody loves it, sure, now I'll be able to sell my weed in the clear. So will everybody else. Now,
does that also include the average citizen that can just grow in their backyard for personal use?
Here's why I won't comment on that. It would depend on how the law is written as to what that means. And none of us know. I have no clue. If you deschedule it and just make it a plant like having, dandelions growing in your backyard because you want to have a salad out of dandelions, sure, it could be as simple as everybody gets to grow it. I think in that regard, you might have a pushback from some of the bigger players and some of pharma, because it would be, again, personal belief. Some of our rules and regulations are a function of the fact that no one, wink, wink, no one wants anyone to be able to grow a lot of their own cures. I have seen this help veterans with PTSD. I have seen this help cancer patients, CBD fundamentally, but I have seen the nature of the product help a lot of individuals with pain management and a lot of things. I think it has a benefit to society, but when you can grow your own cure, there are some people that aren't making as much money if you're growing your own cure.
Oh yeah, and I definitely caught the wink, right? And very smart of you to realize that majority of the people are probably just going to listen to our voice. So you actually have to say wink in this platform.
Wink. There you go. All right, I'll do that. Got it.
And I agree. A lot of instances is a lot of things that we're able to do without having to pay for some type of patented product. are usually put against. So, for example, one thing, and I'm not a doctor, right? But one thing that the rest of the world has concluded, including the United States, is that diabetes is actually insulin deficiency in the brain, right? Well, insulin in the brain. Whereas, I'm sorry, dementia. Dementia
Okay,
is,
dementia,
is,
right.
dementia is essentially just like diabetes everywhere in the body is diabetes of the brain. And so the rest of the world treats it as such. And what somebody can do, if you just stop eating and drink water for 3 days, like if you have a parent that's, and like I said, I'm not a doctor, but if you have like a parent or somebody that has dementia, if you stop feeding them and just give them water for 3 days, a lot of their memories will start coming back. A lot of their functionalities will start coming back. And guess what doctors say? Yeah, that's true, but it's inhumane.
Well,
like, that don't make sense.
Yeah, and I'm not a doctor, but I've heard a lot. There are a lot of homeopathic cures that seem to work, and I've even tried a few of them myself with some of the challenges I have with back issues and stuff like that. But bringing it kind of, oh shoot, I forgot I was going with the topic. Keep going. I'll remember the topic when we get to it. I was going to make a point and I forgot it already.
Oh, no, yeah, you're talking about the homeo. I talked about drinking water and having the dementia patient